So I guess many of you have already heard about the breaking news with regards to executive condominium earlier this morning. I'm going to just keep it sweet and short for those who are interested to know how this is going to impact you moving forward. So for those who are considering executive condominium, I honestly do not think this will deter them in purchasing this moving forward as well. Here are the reasons why. But before I actually start, let me just get some of the main changes that we have with regards to this new policy for you to understand further. So from 8 May onwards, buyers of the new executive condominium, meaning for those who are actually bidded and launched after 8 of May, will have to stay for 10 years instead of the usual 5 years NOP. And honestly, what does this mean? This potentially could shift some of the attention for those buyers who are considering, and with this increase of 5 years in the number of years for the MOP, it might make the existing private properties that are of similar entry price as the EC to move. And these are for buyers who are looking to exchange units within the span of the usual 7 to 8 years. Right now it becomes more than that. 10 years to MOP, 3-4 years to build, that's 13 years. But I think that is not something that is too shocking with regards to the MOP status. We have seen that happening for the plus and the prime flats in BTO. And honestly, I have been telling my clients that this is something that we should anticipate as well moving forward. So the government is just trying to reduce speculation for those who are looking at staying for 10 years and then kind of flipping it after it reaches MOP. So for the true buyers, this will not deter their demand in this. So back to the private property that I've just mentioned, the reason why with this increase in 5 years in number of MOPs to a new 10 years framework, or rather timeline, buyers could potentially leverage more on TDSR. And with the seller stamp duty that's only for 4 years, this allows them more flexibility and, more importantly, allowing them to borrow more. So with that said, this could pivot some small portion of the future buyers to be looking at private property instead of EC. So these two things are one of the huge change that, in my opinion, will truly affect the true upgraders. First is that there will not be any more deferred payment scheme. This will impact a lot of buyers, regardless if you are a first or second timer. Why do I say so? Most of my clients who have purchased an EC for the past few years have been using deferred payment scheme. And with this being abolished, it means that they could and they are only allowed to use normal progressive scheme. And this will be one of the biggest impact. Secondly, the quota for second timer, which is already very low in my opinion, 30%, has been further reduced to 10%. Meaning 90% is given to first timer, and this is applicable for the first 2 years moving forward. So with all these two things being added up, it definitely will be of a huge barrier for second timer hoping to upgrade from their existing HDB to a new EC. So typically for first timer quota, what kind of numbers are we looking at? We are usually looking at 30 to 40% for usual EC launch. For hotter projects such as Orel and Riviera in Tampines recently, we have seen them hitting 70% quota. So it's no surprise that we will definitely be seeing 90% quota being hit for hot projects. So personally, in my opinion, I don't think that will deter buyers still, especially second timers who are looking for own stay, or first timer as well. So what is my verdict? I believe several private projects that have similar entry price, like the EC ones, will start to move pretty much these few months. Why? Because of the price entry. And in buyer's opinion, you should be thinking, should I still buy EC or go private? But not to worry, this policy will only start from 8 May onwards, meaning that there are actually still 5 upcoming EC projects that will be in line with the existing previous policy. And this include one that is in Pasir Ris, and that is definitely going to be one of the cheapest EC launches we have right here in Singapore, provided if you are willing to stay in Pasir Ris. So this window is definitely not completely closed yet. DM me if you want to know which ECs, or rather which 5 ECs are the one that will not be affected by the new policies, and which private project on what kind of projects with the similar attributes will be benefiting from this move. And more importantly, whether for you buying an EC or private will make more sense.